We're here at Club de Boxe Champion, and this is where George works with his coach Jean-Paul, and they're going to be working on sparring, mitts, and bag work here today. Let's go check it out. So right now what they're working on is rhythm and accuracy to really help pinpoint his punches. I like that his trainer has blood on his shirt.
I have trainers in every specific discipline that I do. I have a kickboxing trainer, a wrestling trainer, a jiu-jitsu instructor, boxing trainer, but I don't have a mixed martial art trainer because I live very far from, for example, from New Mexico, for example, where they have Greg Jackson as their MMA mixed martial art trainer. I'm by myself. I'm my own boss. I might be the first MMA trainer when I will retire, but for now, I don't want to move. I had a lot of success by doing it the way I do, and I think the formula so far is very good. This guy hits hard. It's gonna be a tough training today. And I try to develop my skill by training with guys who are doing only one discipline, you know? So let's say I go boxing tomorrow, but I will box with the best boxer.
Guys that like to test, oh, you're a champion, I will see how you can do with me. He train in their gym, in their environment, so they're comfortable. And when they spar, they give 100%. So sometimes all those sparring and stuff become almost like a real fight.
Every time I spar with a boxer, he doesn't care about me. He doesn't give a about me. So he tried to rip my head off. So every time I spar for real. It's allowed me to improve a lot more than somebody, for example, who stick with the same people over and over and always train wrestling, boxing, and those disciplines with the same people.
One of the things that makes George such a well-rounded MMA fighter is that he trains each discipline separately. So for example, he's here wrestling, only wrestling, and he's with some of the best wrestlers in the world.
When I go train in wrestling, most of the guys I train with are heavier than I am. And actually one of my training partners is the 5th in the world, and he's a heavyweight guy.
George St.Pierre is an amazing athlete. He is truly a well-rounded fighter. His wrestling is much better than anybody understands. Like, you can see George's wrestling and say, oh, he's a good wrestler. No, you don't understand. He's a good wrestler. And on top of that, he's got this wonderful attitude. He's so coachable. He wants to learn. He is truly a student of the game. And if once you get success, that's the first thing to go, as I see it. The first thing to go is like, oh, now you know it all. The success will change you, and it changes everybody in a little way. With George, it just seems to bring out the best in him.
A surprise from Dana White. GSP does a little hometown PR, and then dinner and a nightcap when we come back.
Matt Hughes, George St.Pierre for the welterweight championship.
Here we go. You ready? Are you ready? Let's get it on.
Oh, big hit. That close hit. And George St.Pierre is the new welterweight champion.
When I became UFC World welterweight champion, it was like a dream come true for me.
I can't describe my feeling right now. It's too much.
I become more popular since I'm world champion. But I have to keep in mind that a lot of people are there to take advantage of this. They're not real. I have to stick with the same old people who were there in the beginning. I love my family. They've been there since the beginning. They support me. They're my biggest fan.
Because you talk with your heart, and it's beautiful.
I have 2 sisters, my parents, my brother-in-law. So when I go back home, everybody yapping, everybody like, how do you say, yelling, you know, the baby. So I have no break. So now I'm gonna buy a house soon. If my parents, you know, I love my family, but they don't want me to leave. But I mean, after I'm 25 years old, it's time for me to leave, you know.
Since I became champion, for sure I got a lot more money. I was down to the UFC and Dana told me to come over. Eh? You kidding me? Wow! He gave me a Nova 1971 because I was the trainer of the reality show The Ultimate Fighter. I can't believe it. That's too good to be true. Thank you, UFC, everybody for the support, my fans. I love you. You just make me the most happy man in the world right now.
Il est champion mondial dans un sport qui commence à être découvert et à être connu par chez nous au Québec. Georges St.Pierre, bonjour.
Bonjour, ça va bien?
Tu sais qu'il y a plusieurs sociétés.
Because I'm champion, I need to show the sport a good image. I got a lot more responsibility, a lot more work to do as a professional athlete, a lot of PR stuff.
C'est the Ultimate Fighting Championship, le tout premier gala.
George is an extremely well-rounded champion, but on a personal level, I think he's a great champion for the sport because he's so accessible, because he takes the time to shake your hand, because he represents MMA so well.
I feel very privileged, to have this image right now, and it's very important for me to show a good example.
Time to head to the hockey game, and since I was with the champ, I got the VIP treatment. The Canadians even introduced George and I to a sold-out crowd. Hockey fans love a good fight, but they love a hometown fighter even more.
I had a nice ovation because they introduced me in front of all of the crowds during the game, and it was a sold-out game, and everybody was cheering for me, so it's made me feel great. It's made me feel like I have a lot of support. I think it's very important for my people that a guy from their hometown made it. And that kind of stuff give me a lot of motivation to be champion and to stay champion for a long, long time.
After an exciting game, we decided to grab some dinner. George took me to Old Montreal and his favorite restaurant, The Keg, for a steak and a glass of wine.
We had a lot of fun drinking red wine, I love red wine. And yes, of course, even when I train, I take red wine, 1 glass of red wine per day, it's always good. It's good for your blood. I eat pretty much whatever I want. I try to eat as much healthy as I can. I don't eat fast food and stuff like that, but I don't measure what I eat. If one day I'm gonna have to live in a certain ways that I need to eat some stuff that I don't like, live that way, I won't not do this job anymore.
When I first started my career in MMA, people used to tell me, "Oh, you're crazy, those guys are professional, you're never gonna be able to do that." And I became an MMA fighter. Then after, I wanted to be part of the UFC. I wanted to make it in the big show. And everybody used to tell me, "Oh, you're from a place where nobody from here ever did that, we don't have all the tools, all the thing here to make it happen and stuff like that." And I've been a UFC fighter. Then once I was a UFC fighter, I wanted to be world champion. And everybody used to tell me, "Oh, Matthew's gonna stay there forever, and those guys are too strong, you're never gonna reach the top, And I'm world champion right now. So now what I wanted to do, and people might think I'm crazy, but I'm not crazy, I have planned for the future and I'm ready to do it. I want to stay champion, clean my division, and then after, if I have an opportunity, I truly want to challenge the champions in higher weight class. It's just the beginning. It's not finished, it's just the beginning.
That was good. All right, George, I want to say thank you so much for giving us all access to your training regimen, to showing us beautiful Montreal. I had a great time.
It was fun.
Well, this has been UFC All Access. I'm Rochelle Leah. This is George St.Pierre. Merci, bonne soirée.
C'était mon plaisir.
Take care. We'll see you next time.